keeping you safe, informed, connected. This is News Channel 5 at 10.
Good evening, I'm Claire Kopsky. Thanks for joining us. The search is on tonight for a man police say shot and killed another man this morning. Investigators tell us Juan Hernandez shot and killed his roommate, Jesus Perez, inside their home on Mossdale Drive this morning. That's when another roommate says Hernandez took off in someone else's gray Nissan Altima. This isn't Hernandez's first run-in with the law. He was arrested last year for pointing a pistol at his roommates at another address. If you know where he is, call Crime Stoppers. You could earn a cash reward. Around that same time, another person was shot. This happened on Nolensville Pike. A business owner found the man who was shot in the leg, and he was soon rushed to a hospital. Tonight, investigators are still sorting out the details about how the man ended up there in the first place. An update on a story we first told you about yesterday. A federal judge has ordered the state to keep all materials related to Oscar Smith's execution. As we reported yesterday, Smith was scheduled to be executed this week. But just hours before the scheduled time, Governor Lee's office issued a rare reprieve. The governor says there was a technical oversight with the preparations. Smith's attorneys suspect something went wrong with the lethal injection mixture, and they are calling for an independent investigation into what happened. Have you cast your ballot yet? Time is running out for early voting in the upcoming primary election. News Channel 5's Olivia Michael was at Antioch's voting site where one organization encouraged residents to get out early.
Outside the southeast branch of the Nashville Public Library, candidates made their pitch to passers-by, but so did the Urban League of Middle Tennessee.
Our mission nationally is to empower community and change lives. And we want to make sure that African Americans and underserved populations have everything that they need, whether it's voting, it's education, it's a job.
With just a few days left of early voting, members of the league encouraged residents not to wait to cast their ballot for the upcoming county primary election.
We want to make sure that everyone knows that there is a local election happening right now, and we want to make sure that they know to go vote.
On the ballot includes offices like school board, judgeships, and district attorney.
Yesterday, the total was about 6,000 people have voted since early voting got started on the 13th of April, and that's really a shame.
This comes after Metro Council approved new district maps following the 2020 census.
Everything's going to be topsy-turvy come May 3rd, which means that where you voted last year on election day may not be your polling place. So if you want to make sure that you know where you're going, go to an early voting location.
All early voting locations open at 8 a.m. daily and are closed on Sunday. Early voting ends April 28th. In Nashville, Olivia Michael, News Channel 5.
Olivia, thank you. All really good information. And we have even more information on the 11 early voting locations and the candidates running for office on our website, newschannel5.com. Well, today it's no simple task to run a marathon, which is why hundreds of Nashvillians gathered along the race route to cheer runners on. For the first few miles, the crowd was dense along the race route, but over in East Nashville, the crowds thinned out and the hills got steeper. That's why Susan Staley and her family chose to cheer on the runners at the top of Woodland Street Hill. She says as a former participant in the race, she knows where they needed the most motivation.
It's a tough hill right here, so cheering them on here is important.
Good work. Keep it up.
Runners also got to enjoy more than 20 different bands that were set up on stages throughout the course. Many of the song selections had connections to running and races, definitely making for a smooth run. Of course, the rock and roll is not, the fun is not over for that yet. The 1 Miles Kids Rock Race starts tomorrow at noon. All kids 5 to 17 years old are welcome to run. Registration is still open and the race costs $20 per person, which includes a t-shirt, goodie bag, finisher's medal, and a racing bib. So if you still want to get out there, you still have the chance, which maybe we should go redeem ourselves tomorrow morning. I don't know.
You know, you had to kind of feel for those runners today, too.
Oh,
it was so hot out there, especially, you know, when you talk Nashville, it is very hilly for the full marathon that they go through. Temperatures today were very warm. In fact, we were very close to the record high for this afternoon. Topped out around 84 today in Nashville. The record was actually 90. Didn't get close to there, but we made a run for for it. 75 is what our normal high is this time of the year, so we're going to run above that through the rest of the weekend. Right now, looking from our Acme feed and seed camera, downtown looks good. Lots of folks out on Broadway enjoying a Nashville night. We are still in the 70s. We are going to do it all over again tomorrow. Really more of the same, warm and breezy with a nice wind out of the south. Highs today or tomorrow going to top out in the mid 80s again. We're going to talk about when more rain and thunderstorms come back in Clare. That's going to lead to a cool down as well. Your 7-day in just a bit.
All right. Well, thank you, Heather. Well, folks in Franklin made the best of the great weather today. The 38th annual Main Street Festival is back in Franklin. This year, the event is featuring close to 200 local vendors. The festival attracts thousands of visitors every year to enjoy arts and crafts, live music, games, and a wide array of food and drinks. Among the vendors are 150 artisans showcasing their pottery, photography, handcrafted jewelry, and different works of art. People there told us that they're excited for a COVID-free summer.
It's a breath of fresh air. I think everybody needs it, especially now the weather's starting to break. The weather's starting to get a lot better now that it's not winter anymore. And what a beautiful weekend to have it on.
Well, and if you weren't able to make it out today, the Main Street Festival continues tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Well, our friends over at Old Friends Senior Dog Sanctuary had a reason to party tonight. They celebrated their 10-year anniversary, and our very own Nick Barris emceed the event. The Mount Juliet shelter is dedicated to providing lifetime homes for senior dogs. And more often than not, police chases end with a crash, but not this one. In fact, it didn't even end after 2 crashes. The wild morning on Nashville interstates, plus masks are no longer required at airports. But could that be changing already? Who's fighting to reinstate the mandate? Head of News Channel 5 at 10.
This is News Channel 5 at 10 with Emily Luxon, Storm 5 meteorologist Heather Mathis, and sports with John Burton.
Well, welcome back. It was a wild way to start the day in Wilson County. A man led officers on a foot chase after crashing his car twice. Tennessee Highway Patrol tells us the man originally refused to stop for a trooper on I-40 in Wilson County. Instead, he took off, sparking a chase that continued on to 840 and eventually Central Pike. That's where the driver crashed into a tree and hit a highway patrol vehicle. But he didn't stop there. He kept driving into Davidson County, where he eventually crashed into a fence, got out of the car, and started running. Eventually, officers were able to chase him down and arrest him. Thankfully, no one was hurt during the pursuit. The only surviving mask mandate in Tennessee was finally lifted last week, the federal one requiring masks inside airports. But now people in many parts of the country are getting whiplash as mandates rise and fall within days. Michael George has more on that and the fight to reinstate masks at the airport.
In Philadelphia, mask signs are coming down again. In the span of just 4 days, the city went from masks being optional indoors to mandatory, then back to optional.
We put our masks on, but then once we walked in, nobody had them on, so it's hard to know what's going on.
A federal judge overturned the mask mandate for planes and mass transit this week. But with COVID cases rising in 36 states, some areas, including Los Angeles County, are reinstituting mask requirements.
Do you have one or do you need one? No, I'll have one. Okay, can you wear it for me, please?
It's getting tough for people to keep track.
I just wish we got a clear answer on what we're going to do with this whole mask mandate.
This is a time not to be reckless and to wear masks indoors, check up on your vaccination status.
Several major airlines say they may reinstate thousands of passengers who were banned from flying for refusing to wear masks. However, the airlines indicated passengers who became violent or disruptive may not be reinstated. Meanwhile, the Justice Department is appealing to restore the mask mandate. The CDC says it remains necessary for the public health. At LaGuardia Airport, Michael George, CBS News.
Well, if you're wondering how COVID is looking here in Tennessee, let's take a look. Cases are up slightly from last week, about 300 more on average per day. But we know health officials are no longer looking at cases to make decisions. Instead, they are using hospitalizations as their key metric. Right now, there are 149 Tennesseans in the hospital with COVID. That's down from nearly 400 last month and nearly 1,800 back in February. Would you ever get a tattoo? What if it was temporary? The new technique that's allowing people to get not so permanent ink.
Well, I wish this weather could be permanent, don't we all? One more day of summer-like heat and then a cool down is coming. We'll let you know when. Coming up next.
Well, soccer fans, this one's for you. The Nashville SC team store opened today for an exclusive preview for season ticket holders. If you're not a season ticket holder, don't worry, you'll get to shop there soon. The store inside Geodis Park will officially open for business next Wednesday. And on Friday, join us here at News Channel 5 as we preview the home opener at the largest soccer stadium in the U.S. and Canada. We'll have coverage all day long, along with a soccer special at 6:30 p.m. Well, today, Metro Schools handed out some much-needed care packages to families at their community care event. Volunteers handed out personal care items, diapers, food, and gift cards at Buena Vista Elementary and Greater St. John Missionary Baptist Church. Organizers say the reality is many low-income students nationwide and here in Nashville have challenges just getting to school. Supporters say they want families whose kids attend Metro Schools to know they have resources available to remove those barriers when it comes to attending class every day.
We believe in Metro Nashville Public Schools that it's super important for us to stay connected to our families and specifically within the community. We don't want them to have to come to us. We want to be able to come to them to show that we're willing to do anything we can to support all of our families in being successful in school.
This was the third Community Care Day MNPS has hosted. Organizers say for those who missed it today, not to worry as they're planning more events like this for next school year. Well, it's hard to believe we're thinking about that already.
I know, but I mean, it really feels like summertime outside this weekend.
It feels like it should be summer break. Pool's open.
I know. Well, we get another day of this wonderful weather, so if you were unable to enjoy it this afternoon, we get a do-over on Sunday. Take advantage of that because as we head into the work week, we will see some changes coming to our temperatures, even more rain coming back in the forecast. So here's what we're looking at as we go through tonight and heading into Monday. Nice and mild for this evening. Tomorrow, again, another great day. It's really going to be a copy and paste of what we saw this afternoon. Monday is when we're talking those rain and thunderstorms returning. It's really not until Tuesday, though, that we see temperatures take a bit of a dive. And we're actually talking about a 20-degree dive between tomorrow afternoon and Tuesday. 85 is where we're going to top out tomorrow, but look at how we go down. Tuesday's highs only in the lower 60s, but then we start that climb back up towards the end of the week. So it's kind of like a roller coaster ride, right? I will say by Wednesday morning, there may be some patchy frost out there too. I know we've got some planners who have already put some of their stuff out in the garden, got those flowers out too. So why is this cool down going to happen? Off to our west, we've got a cold front. It's actually giving some severe weather. You can see down in Oklahoma, they've got severe thunderstorm warnings. Thankfully tonight, not dealing with any of that. We are going to stay nice and quiet, not only this evening, but into the day tomorrow as well. Looking at those lows tonight, going down into the lower 60s, so nice and mild for this time of the year. You're going to wake up to 60 in Columbia, about 63 in Nashville, and 59 over in Cookeville. Breaking down your Sunday even more, temperatures were going to be close to 80 degrees at noon. We are going to see a few more clouds tomorrow than what we saw today, and it's also going to be a little bit breezy as well. It's going to knock around some of that pollen, so if you've got a scratchy throat, know that is why. Wind gusts of about 20 miles per hour. Now for Monday, those scattered rain and thunderstorms going to start to push in for west of I-65 really during the morning time. So if you're in Clarksville, Dixon, Columbia, you may see a drop of rain as you head into work. This is going to be a slow moving cold front. So we really deal with this on and off all day Monday. Looks to exit the area by Tuesday morning. Good news, the setup just really isn't there. I've been watching all the data coming in and I don't think we're going to get anything severe out of this, but we could see anywhere from a half of an inch to about an inch of rainfall once all is said and done. Looking at your 7-day forecast, again, a little dip Tuesday, but then back up to those upper 70s clear by Friday.
Heather, thank you. We can't ask for much more than that. Well, have you ever thought about getting a tattoo but don't want to be stuck with it forever? Well, this might be some good news for you. Amanda Brandes explains how people are getting inked without making a lifetime commitment.
Can I have some more ink, please?
Once reserved for the outcasts and misfits.
I love drawing. I love creating art.
Ink permeates the mainstream today.
I love seeing how people felt after getting the tattoo that they wanted.
So I'm going to have you lay on this side.
There's such a wide range of what the tattoo culture is. You know, it's not corporate, it's not uniform. It's a very free culture. We were very taboo for a while.
And now another evolution is happening in studios like this.
because this type of thing has opened it up for people who either couldn't or wouldn't get it before because of the permanence issues.
Asia Noel is an artist at Ephemeral Tattoo Los Angeles.
Client gets a feel for the pain that you would get with a traditional tattoo. You're in a studio, you go through a consultation for design, but it's temporary. It fades. So that's why we call them made to fade tattoos.
The trademark ink fades naturally within 9 to 15 months.
I feel like it's very innovative. I feel that it's the next step in tattoo culture.
Developed for over 6 years by chemical engineers, the biodegradable ink is made with materials that the body can naturally break down, similar to the way stitches can dissolve.
Initially, I actually really wasn't about it. Just being from an older mind frame, an older school mind frame of tattooing.
But from religious constraints to family disapproval, she recognized how many have been held back from the art form.
They're all just like in awe of, the tattoo being able to fade, and they love the environment, they love the vibe, they love our big old disco ball that we have in the middle of the room. It's just a whole different feel from traditional shops.
The company went viral after opening its first location in Brooklyn, New York.
Printed out on a vintage Polaroid.
And has since raised $20 million from investors. They're using it to develop colored ink and to expand the studio footprint.
And I'm all about change. I'm all about being innovative and trying something new, because nothing cool, nothing like awesome was ever, established by staying in your comfort zone. I'm all about being a part of the movement.
In Los Angeles, I'm Amanda Brandeis reporting.
Well, John, what do you think? Would you try these temporary tattoos?
Yeah, temporary, I think. I don't have any tattoos. So
I know. Me neither.
Give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Could be your chance.
Yeah, the Preds had a chance to win a second straight game. Hasn't happened in a while, and they were in Tampa tonight. Let's just say things didn't go very well. Highlights next in sports. You're watching News Channel 5 at 10.
All right, more of the same tomorrow. 85, can't beat that.
Thanks for that. Well, thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy the rest of this gorgeous weekend. We'll see you tomorrow.